Hold on.
So not the phone book, but something else he's got handy that'll
Well, I
probably
mean,
do it.
like I've got Shannon's paper on information theory, which is, about phones in kind of a roundabout way.
Can you pull up the man page to cat?
A Mathematical Theory of Communication by C.E. Shannon. Introduction. The recent development of various methods of modulation, such as PCM and PPM, which exchange bandwidth for signal-to-noise ratio, has intensified the interest in a general theory of communication. A basis for such a theory is contained in the important papers of Nyquist, Super 1, and Hartley, Super 2, on this subject. In the present paper, we will extend the theory to include a number of new factors, in particular the effect of noise in the channel, and the savings possible due to the statistical structure of the original message and due to the nature of the final destination of the information. The fundamental problem of communication is that of reproducing at one point either exactly or approximately a message selected at another point. Frequently, the messages have meaning. That is, they refer to or are correlated according to some system with certain physical or conceptual entities. These semantic aspects of communication are irrelevant to the engineering problem. The significant aspect is that the actual message is one selected from a set of possible messages. The system must be designed to operate for each possible selection, not just the one which will actually be chosen, since this is unknown at the time of design.
Let's get you on the mark.
Okay. If the number of messages in the set is finite, then this number or any monotonic function of this number can be regarded as a measure of the information produced when one message is chosen from the set, all choices being equally likely. As was pointed out by Hartley, the most natural choice is the logarithmic function, although this definition must be generalized considerably when we consider the influence of the statistics of the message, and when we have a continuous range of messages, we will in all cases use an essentially logarithmic measure. The logarithmic measure is more convenient for various reasons. 1. It is practically more useful. Parameters of engineering importance such as time, bandwidth, number of relays, etc. tend to vary linearly with the logarithm of the number of possibilities. For example, adding one relay to a group doubles the number of possible states of the relays. It adds 1 to the base 2 logarithm of this number. Doubling the time roughly squares the number of possible messages, or doubles the logarithm. It is nearer to our intuitive feeling as the proper measure. This is closely related to 1, since we intuitively measure entities by linear comparison with common standards.
Nope.
One feels, for example, that 2 punched cards should have twice the capacity of 1 for information storage, and 2 identical channels twice the capacity for 1 transmitting information. It is mathematically more suitable. Many of the limiting operations are simple in terms of the logarithm, but would require clumsy restatement in terms of the number of possibilities. The choice of a logarithmic base corresponds to the choice of a unit for measuring information. If the base 2 is used, the resulting units may be called binary digits, or more briefly, bits. A word suggested by J.W. Tukey. A device with 2 stable positions, such as a relay or a flip-flop circuit, can store 1 bit of information. N such devices can store n bits, since the total number of possible states is 2 to the n, and log base 2 to the n equals n. If the base 10 is used, the units may be called decimal digits, since log base 2m equals log base 10m over log base 10 2, which equals 3.32 log base 10m.
You're done.
A decimal digit...
Not you. Ian's done. Sorry, he's on slippery.
What? No. What?
No.
Weren't you?
No.
No.
This is how I drive.
Oh, for God's sake. DB10 was like, when did we put Ian on slippery? I wasn't around when that happened, and I'm like, well then take him off! For God's sake, take him off!
A decimal digit is about 3 1/3 bits. A digit wheel on a desk computing machine has 10 stable positions and therefore has a storage capacity of 1 decimal digit. In analytical work where integration and differentiation are involved, the base E is sometimes useful. The resulting units of information will be called natural units. Change from the base A to base B merely requires multiplication by log sub B, or log base B A. By a communication system, we will mean a system of the type indicated schematically in Figure 1. It consists of essentially 5 parts. Part 1. An information source which produces a message or sequence of messages to be communicated to the receiving terminal. The message may be of various types. A sequence of letters, as in a telegraph or teletype system. B, a single function of time, f of t, as in a radio or telephony. C, a function of time and other variables, as in black and white television. Here the message may be thought of as a function of f of x, y, t of 2 space coordinates and time and light intensity at point x, y and time t on a pickup tube plate. D, 2 or more functions of time, say f of t, g of t, h of t. This is the case in 3-dimensional sound transmission, or if the system is intended to service several individual channels in multiplex. E, several functions of several variables. In color television, the message consists of 3 functions, f of xyt, g of xyt, h of xyt, defined in a 3-dimensional continuum. We may also think of these 3 functions as components of a vector field defined in the region. Similarly, several black and white television sources will produce messages consisting of a number of functions of 3 variables.
How many pages have we read?
Like 1.
1.
How many pages is this?
I think it's about 70.
Ah!
No, this is like this. That was the first time anyone had used the word bit to describe like a binary. This is like the first information theory paper.
Oh, I see. Okay, I will call it there. Let's make a pile of shoes.